Automation is taking over IT, and Ansible is one of the tools changing the game. In this episode, we'll discuss how it can simplify tasks, improve efficiency, and make you stand out as a tech professional.
I want to talk about automation in two ways. First, how important it is, but I also think it's important in what we offer to the marketplace. Because like I usually say, 10 years ago, to be a Linux system administrator, you didn't realize so much on automation. So what I realized is that as a company that's trying to keep up with what the market needs, we needed to add automation to what we offer to students. And to me, Ansible was the natural next step, because you agree with that, right?
Definitely. Of all the configuration tools that I've been exposed to, Ansible is the simplest. Like, it's simple to read, simple to learn, and that helps get it adopted in environments. I remember back 10 years ago, as you say, there could be one person in an environment that managed the configuration management tool because it was so finicky, or they could be so finicky that it was like only one person can touch this. So that's why your typical admin didn't have to know this. And if they knew it, it was like their specialty. But now it's required that everybody knows how to work.
Now it's basic for system admin or system engineer to at least understand automation and be able to deploy the minimal amount of it. And it's also important to streamline repetitive tasks as well, because that you're going to be doing a lot of is streamlining repetitive tasks.
Yes. Now in a DevOps world, our infrastructure doesn't live as long as things lived in the past. So in the past, we had one server, it could be virtual or physical, and that server could stay around for months, even years.
Listen,
that is not the case anymore.
We're talking about, I know servers who's been running for 12 years straight.
Yeah. Now it's common to have servers that run for minutes or hours.
Yeah.
So because they are so short-lived, we need to have something that can repetitively go and configure them as they should be configured.
But let's tell them why a server could live 10 years before, but now the lifespan of a server is shorter. Why do you think that is?
There was a cultural shift. We like to say that we treated our servers as pets. So we would name them. We would want to keep them around and healthy. That had a lot to do with the fact that it was difficult to configure them. We were mostly on-prem. So every time we needed a server, we needed to request a department that would then give somebody permission to grant us server capacity. So it was a lot of bureaucracy, administratively and technically. Now, as we adopt more virtualization tools and even cloud platforms, it's easier to deploy servers, so it's easier to get rid of them as well.
Yeah, and it's also easier to actually scale environment, because nowadays you don't just scale for what you will need in 5 years. You scale your environment for what you need now.
Yeah.
It could be a smaller scale in 3 months, and then you need 10 times the amount of server around, let's say, Thanksgiving, where there is a lot of transaction. So now the
You
infrastructure.
mean Black Friday. On Thanksgiving, we just eat turkey.
Yeah, well, the day after Thanksgiving. But nowadays, we scale according to what's needed at exactly the time it's needed.
Yes.
And another reason why I think it's important to learn Ansible is to just be more marketable. Because now everybody has, not everybody, I have to fix that. a lot of people have the basic certification, which is RCSA. The best way to move yourself away from the crowd is to add something additional to your portfolio. And automation in the form of Ansible or RHCE is very important. It's actually also important because it's a Red Hat product, so it shows progression in the same direction.
Yes, you're specializing.
Yeah, it shows that you are specialized in one environment and one space, and it makes your resume even more attractive in general. So to finish, I would say that Ansible, not only it's a tool, but it's a bridge to the modern time of infrastructure in general. You see, it's not only something to learn, but it's something to master, to understand that the old way of doing system administration is gone. Automation is the new way. So yes, you need to understand the basics of Linux, but automation is key.